Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Saturday morning here where I am right now on my side of the world. So welcome to the weekend. Hope you've had a really good week. Hope you've been able to get all the things done that you wanted to get done, all those boxes checked. And if you haven't, perhaps there still is a little bit of time to get one or two more things done. Our teacher this week is John Wellwood, but I did include Jiddu Krishnamurti in today's quotes as well. So let's get into it. Today's message starts this way. Have you ever been lost in a daydream, a world built of your own thoughts, only to be snapped back into the present with jarring abruptness? That jolt, that sudden return to the now is one way of describing what awareness is. It is the fundamental capacity to perceive our surroundings, to observe our thoughts, to witness our emotions as they arise. But this awareness, like a double-edged sword, can both liberate and also imprison us. We often fall into the trap of dwelling on our perceived shortcomings, our flaws magnified under the harsh spotlight of self-criticism. This, I guess we could call the dark side of awareness. Awareness, like taking a really good look at ourselves, but born out of fear. Looking at ourselves through the lens of fear. This becomes a relentless cataloging of everything we believe is wrong with us. However, there exists a profound alternative, a transformative power that can heal and renew. We could call this awareness born of love. Being able to put a spotlight on us, but the lens that we see through is love. Michelle, a very good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. It's good to see you. Hope your week was great. John Wellwood says, awareness born of love. In other words, being able to truly take a look at ourselves, but ensuring that the lens we are seeing through is love. John Wellwood says, awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. It is only awareness born of love that will bring healing and renewal, says John Wellwood. Pat, a very good morning. Happy Saturday. It's great seeing you. Hello. This is a stark contrast to the fear-driven awareness that fixates on our imperfections. What John Wellwood speaks of is awareness on a deeper level, but it really can be quite difficult to get beyond our own knee-jerk reaction to our glaring imperfections. Jiddu Krishnamurti says, to understand oneself. This is the same thing, the same concept, taking a look at yourself, putting a spotlight or a magnifying glass on you and understanding yourself. Krishnamurti says, to understand oneself is to become aware of every thought, every feeling, but without condemnation. When you condemn, you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. If you do not condemn, justify, or resist, then the content of your thought will reveal itself. Experiment and you will see. And the experiment that he suggests we do is put the spotlight on you. See what's there. Just don't condemn. Don't make anything good or bad. I'll repeat what he says happens. He says, the content of your thought will fully reveal itself. Awareness born of love is beautifully described by Krishnamurti as becoming aware of every thought and feeling without judging it. True awareness is the capacity to allow difficult emotions to arise without trying to numb them or avoid them. And this journey eventually leads to the understanding of how our inner experience moves. We get to understand what the origin is for each of these events. And we see that whatever comes, for the most part, will also go, grounding us as the strong presence that was able to gently hold all of this. The last thought from John Wellwood for today is, let go of the future goal of becoming enlightened. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Sit down and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Awareness born of love leads us to discover our inherent strength, the capacity to hold these experiences with gentle compassion. There is nothing outside of you to reach for, no distant goal somewhere in the future that will finally make you experience fulfillment. Honor what is calling within you right now. Pay attention to what needs to be allowed to be felt. This brings clarity, and clarity will show you what your next steps are. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together. Starting with the first few big breaths, today's meditation is called Come to Your Senses. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. Fill up your belly as if there's a balloon in your belly. As you inhale, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And with every exhale, let everything go. Soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep into your belly, but your whole body is invited to participate. Let it not just be breathing through your nose or filling up your lungs. Let it be every cell in your body rising together. And then for your exhale, the same. Let it not just be emptying your lungs, but let every cell in your body feel the softness that you are bringing in. And while we do, today's meditation is about checking in with this body's physical senses. And we'll start that right now, checking into this body. So with your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead, to the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? In this moment, is that space, your forehead, soft and relaxed and no frown? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth or pressing your tongue hard against the roof of your mouth, or your jaw muscles clenched tightly? If ever you do you have a conversation with this body? Do you let this body know that right now it is safe? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you sometimes find that you're holding tension there, carrying a tightness in your shoulders? And when you do you remember to stop for a few deep, slow breaths and roll out those shoulder muscles? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your stomach area. There where tension hides the most effectively. We can hold tension there for such a long time without really realizing what we're doing. And when you feel that, when you feel you're holding tension there, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? Let this body know that right now it is safe. In this moment, there is no tiger in the room, and it would be safe to become soft. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your legs, to your arms, and specifically your hands. Another place where tension hides without us realizing, in tightly balled fists. Right now are your hands half open, calmly lying in your lap. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, for a moment, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, the reminder is that today's journey is about checking in with this body. So as you take your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, wrap your arms around this body. Let this body know, hello body, I really love having you. Take your next big breath. In today's message, Krishnamurti tells us to observe every thought, every feeling, without condemning any of it, without judging any of it. John Wellwood suggests, sit and listen. Listen to the wind singing in your veins. We will take their suggestions seriously, and the vehicle that we will use is simply paying attention to our physical senses. Practicing the muscle that enables us to observe without condemning, without judging. Our journey of the senses starts at the top with our eyes and then works its way through our body. So with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, without opening your eyes, have this experience with your mind. Ask this question: what would be an obvious thing to see when I open my eyes? And it could be anything, just take whatever comes to mind. Then as you hold your breath, use your mind to study this obvious thing. See it from all of its angles, all of its color, find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Then we'll change gears. We're still staying with what you can see, but this time the question is, if you were to open your eyes, what would be something not obvious at all? Something you'd have to take a moment to find. It could be small, it could be hidden. Use whatever comes to your mind first. As you take your next big breath, see it from all of its angles, all of its color, and find all of its texture. Really get into studying this object with your mind. Take your next big breath. Krishnamurti's advice is to be able to observe without judgment. Were you able to observe this object without any judgment? That sounds simple, right? But how about every time your brain jumps to something else? Breakfast probably needs to be made just now. Perhaps you gotta get the family together to drive somewhere in a little while. Maybe there's that deadline that you're worried about. And while you're observing this obvious object, your brain keeps being distracted to going to that deadline. Are you able to also observe your mind without making any judgment? That's where it becomes a little bit more tricky, right? But this is what we're practicing. We're practicing exactly that. Being able to observe without judgment, just a gentle redirect. Every time your brain wanders away, gently redirect it back to what we're focusing on right now. Practice not condemning, not judging. Right, we'll take a step down to our ears and what we can hear. We're gonna try again, practice again. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to the most obvious sound that you can find. Try and listen deep into this obvious sound. Can you hear different layers of vibration in this obvious sound? Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, we'll still focus on what you can hear, but this time, scan your environment for the faintest sound you can find. Something that's barely more than a whisper, and see how much of it you can hear. Take your next big breath. When we listen, especially when we listen to another human being speaking to us, how often do we judge, condemn, make right and wrong, good or bad, from what they're saying, even if it's just within ourselves, even if we don't verbally judge? How quick are you to divide what your ears hear when someone speaks into right and wrong, good or bad? Have you become practiced at listening without judgment? Which does not mean we have to agree with everything everyone says. But we can become curious about why. Why is he saying what he's saying? Why does he see it that way? Curiosity is the opposite of judgment. Let's keep practicing. We'll take a step down from our ears to our nose, and for these next two stops, nose and mouth, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be in order to facilitate smell and tasting. And yes, I know this is a tough one. Unless you have something to bring to your nose or bring to your mouth. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you can find any smell. Is there any obvious smell right now? Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, and this time, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, is there any other smell? Anything besides the first obvious smell that you can find? Take your next big breath. Krishnamurti's advice is to observe without judgment and smell a really bad smell. That's one of the hardest ones to not have a big reaction to instantly, isn't it? but I find it a great one to practice with. Encountering a really bad smell feels like such an onslaught on our senses. It feels offensive. But have you ever tried observing without judgment when you encounter a bad smell? Or at least just done the mental exercise to go, can I just soften and not let my body react to this bad smell for a few moments? Can I have the smell? Can I be with this without instantly trying to change it? This is a challenge for you. I am challenging you. The next time you find a really bad smell, can you hang out in that space for just a little bit longer? Try and soften your body into having the experience without reacting to the experience. That is a great way to practice this. But I understand, not so much fun. We'll take another step down to our taste buds, to our mouth. This one is particularly difficult if you don't have anything to bring to your mouth and taste. But try. Ask help from a little bit of curiosity. Be really curious. Could you find something to taste in the air right now? Take your next big breath. And we'll try one more time as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you. Is there any other taste? Anything else you can find? Take your next big breath. We have one more stop to make. The surface of your skin. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin. Find wherever is the most obvious sensation. And really study that obvious sensation. Can you find different pressures and different sensations there? Take your next big breath. One more time, find on the surface of your skin the slightest sensation. Perhaps there's somewhere where you can just feel fabric rest on skin. Or perhaps you can just feel the air touch your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read one more time a few thoughts from today's quotes. Krishnamurti says, "To understand oneself is to become aware of every thought and feeling without condemnation." But he goes a little bit further to say, why? Why no condemnation? What happens if we condemn and judge? He says, when you condemn, you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. I think scientifically, it's probably not true that we put a stop, but we are trying to put a stop on these thoughts and feelings. And in that attempt, we don't get to experience the true nature of these thoughts and feelings. And this is what Krishnamurti is trying to say. When you put a stop to your thoughts and feelings, you don't see it reveal itself, because if you don't condemn it, if you don't justify or don't resist, if you just observe, he says, then the content of your thoughts will reveal itself. He invites us, experiment and you will see. Then John Wellwood says, awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. And this ability to observe without judgment, to see what's there, to see exactly what's there, nothing hidden. This is the awareness born of love that John Wellwood talks about. The better we get at this awareness, being able to put the spotlight on ourselves, see everything that's there with no judgment, no criticism. This gets us to really understand what it is that creates these thoughts and emotions. We get to understand that there is nothing inside of us that's ever trying to sabotage us. Every thought and emotion is always trying to be helpful, but we never get there unless we can become present with these thoughts and emotions. Awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal, says John Wellwood. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this body with all of its sensory experience. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to be present with everything that this body experiences. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the physical senses that give me information about the world around me. Take a deep breath in. And thank you for my inner senses that give me information about the world inside me. Those thoughts, feelings, emotions. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for coming on this journey along with us. Thank you, Pat, wishing you a beautiful Saturday. Thank you, Michelle, wishing you a beautiful weekend. And to whoever else is in the background, wishing you an awesome day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.